So today we're going to talk about how to approach women at night, whether it's clubs, bars, parties, lounges. It doesn't matter where. When it comes to approaching women at night and pulling them, this is the video. And this is going to be incredible. So stay till the end. I'm going to drop a ton of value. There's going to be a ton of nuggets. And a lot of this information is actually what I give to my paid clients. So this is really some powerful shit you're going to see. This is not going to be some mainstream shit, okay? So let's dive in. Super excited for this video. This video has been requested many times by some people in my comments and stuff. So super excited. Let's dive in. Now, obviously, I can't include everything because there's a lot of things that I show only to my paid clients. And obviously, I can't really give you everything. Otherwise, it would be unfair to the guys who have invested in themselves to be part of my program. However, I'm going to give you the maximum amount of free value that I can give you. And I think this is going to be extremely valuable. Now, here's a mantra when going out. This is my mantra when I go out. The more I do, the less the environment does to me. So the more you do, the less the environment does to you. You got to repeat that in your head until you internalize this statement. Okay, because otherwise, if you're stalling, like if you're just with your drink, wandering around, just looking around and not doing anything and just waiting, then the environment is going to make you react and you're not going to be in control of your night. You're going to be in reaction the whole night. And that's going to be a downward spiral from there. Otherwise, if you move into an action-taking momentum, a momentum of taking action, then you're going to see that the environment is going to react to you. The girls are going to react to you. The guys are going to react to you. And you're going to be in control and you're going to be in action and not in reaction. That's very, very important. Now, the thing that truly separates the alphas, quote unquote, from the betas are status, money, looks, physical competency, and the ability to foster social alliances, connections, and pre-selection. That's what truly separates the alphas from the betas, especially in nighttime environments. Now, nightclubs are very effective at weeding out the betas, the beta males. It's kind of a triage mechanism. It's an environment that weeds out low status guys. Because, for example, if you're poor, then you can't have a table because it's expensive. You can't have some real estate in the club. You have to stay with the peasants in the general section. If you can't project your voice, then women can't hear you. So you're going to be ignored, you're going to be rejected quickly. If you dress like shit, nobody's going to pay attention to you. If you smell bad or you have bad breath, then yeah, you're fucked. If you don't know how to assert yourself physically among other men, then you're going to get crushed by the guys who do. If you're not physically imposing, then nobody's going to see you as a threat and nobody's going to respect you. So it's very, very important. For the men who do not have strong voices, they're going to play loud music to disorient you so that your weak voice cannot get over that loud music. So a beta guy is going to think, oh, let me stay home. Let me do my day game at the mall because it's too loud at the nightclub, right? The beta guys are going to be intimidated by nighttime environments. So if you're that guy right now, if you're the type of guy who's intimidated by nighttime environment, then you're acting like a beta guy. You're just too weak to go to nightclubs. And if that's the case, you gotta empower yourself. And if that's a weak point of yours, you gotta strengthen it. And I was like you guys, like sometimes I was a bit nervous about going to nightclubs because I know how it is, like loud music, alcohol, anything can happen, fights, but it doesn't matter now. I mean, now I really enjoy going to nightclubs because I understand what to do. I've done it so many times. I have a really great time talking to girls, messing around, teasing them, having fun. And it's just so fun to me. And every time I go out, I have such a blast because I can talk to anybody and I just can make up my own fun, my own inside jokes, my own little things that uplift me, you know? So when you get good at this, you look forward to going out because it's such a fun time. And for the men who do not have social and financial resources, they're going to stratify you based on how much money you have and how you dress. There's usually different sections in the club, right? VIP areas, tables, etc. Now, honestly, guys, like I'm a proponent of going to the general section most of the time. I'm not a big fan of spending thousands of dollars on tables and VIP areas, etc. A lot of times girls are going to take advantage of you if you do so, and a lot of times it's not even worth it in most venues. There are some venues where it's worth it, and I highly recommend doing it, but there's a lot of venues where it's not worth it. For example, right now I live in Estonia. In Estonia, there's not a big culture of VIP tables, etc. It's not really in their culture. You'll see most of the VIP tables there are just empty. So it's better to go to the general section, and that's where you're gonna find the most concentration of girls. However, in some cities, I think about Paris, for example, you're gonna be heavily favored if you have a table. Otherwise, you're going to be seen a bit like a peasant. But it depends. If you have a good game, you can always make your way and make it work. Now, we all have inside of us two voices, a beta voice and an alpha voice. The beta voice wants you to be safe, but the alpha voice wants you to be successful. The beta voice wants to make you comfortable, and the alpha voice wants you to push yourself forward. So always choose success over safety. We all have a beta programming that wants to keep us safe and an alpha programming that wants us to be successful. So think and act as an alpha, not as a beta guy. Now, if you never go to nightclubs because you feel like it's an intimidating environment, I want you to give yourself permission, because at the beginning, maybe you're going to have a bit of imposter syndrome because you're not used to going out much. And you might feel like you don't belong there. You might feel like, that's not for me. I prefer meeting women during the day because it's more safe and people can hear me or whatever. But honestly, man, it's a limiting belief. You can make it work. You can strengthen yourself and become great at nighttime seduction. So don't limit yourself to only one way of meeting women. Don't be a one-trick pony. Realize that nobody gives a fuck. Realize that you can make something happen, and always come back to the present moment. A lot of guys, they're so in their head, they're overthinking everything, they're never present. But if you're fully present, and if you have the right strategies that I'm going to show you, you can make it work, all right? Now, a nightclub, or even a party, or a bar, or whatever, it's a bit like a video game. Like, the consequences of what you're doing or what you're saying are less relevant there. Like, what you say doesn't have to make sense at all sometimes. You can just say whatever. You can just say to a girl, like, hey, come here, we're gonna get married. We're gonna go to Mexico together. We're gonna rob a bank, whatever. It doesn't matter, right? Whatever you say is just playful. It doesn't need to make sense all the time. You don't need to be logical about it. Now, let's talk about getting success during nighttime. Sorry, there's a few spelling mistakes, but let's talk about that. Let's talk about how you can be successful during nighttime. So in my program, I cover different systems. I cover cold approach systems, online systems, social circle systems. And right now, specifically, we're going to cover cold approach, but we're going to cover cold approach specifically applied to nightclubs, bars, and venues. We're not going to cover like streets and malls and grocery stores and gyms and libraries and coffee shops and all of that. Now, if you approach a woman in a nightclub, a bar, a venue, a restaurant, a lounge, an event, a party, there's going to be two things that happen if the interaction is successful. Number one, you take her phone number or Instagram if you sense that it's going to be hard to pull her that same night. And it's a safe bet. So you can take her Instagram, her phone, and even if you lose her, maybe she's going to be with her friend, maybe she's going to go to the bathroom, maybe something is going to happen, you're going to lose her. But at least you get her contact, you collect her contact so that you have that lead saved, all right? That's one way. Or the second thing is you can instantly pull her. So instantly from the bar, from the nightclub, you pull her to a third-party location, whether to grab food or whatever, or to your place directly to do an after party and to just have sex, whatever. So these are the two outcomes. Either you grab her contact, phone, Instagram, or instant pull. So you pull her back home, or you pull her to, I don't know, a little 24/7 restaurant or some kebab or pizza place, and then you walk a bit and you go to your place, right? So these are really the two outcomes if the interaction is successful. You either pull or you get a contact, and then you date her another day, right? So these are the two outcomes. So now let's talk about some mindsets for nighttime seduction. Now, oftentimes when I talk to guys, either guys who want to join my program or existing clients who are just starting out, they give me a lot of excuses not to go out. They tell me that nightclubs are bad, or they're toxic, or only the wrong women go to nightclubs, or only the wrong women go to bars. Nightclubs are a trap to make you consume. I don't want to stay up late. I don't want to fuck up my routine. Nightclubs are too loud. We can't hear anyone. There's a bunch of excuses, guys. A bunch of excuses that I hear. Now let's tackle them all. Excuse number one, nightclubs are bad and toxic. This is a very common one. Now here's the mindset you need to adopt. Environments are neutral. It's what you make of them, truly. If you go there to take drugs and get drunk and do some bad stuff, then obviously it's going to be bad. But if you show up with high energy, with high intent, you make new connections, you make social alliances, you filter out the negative people, you attract the right people, then you can make a lot of good shit happen in nightclubs. Some multi-million-dollar deals happen in nightclubs. Some multi-million-dollar deals happen when people are out and discussing things, right? And you're not there to be part of the scene and get hammered and take drugs. You're there to practice and meet people and make connections and meet amazing women along the way. And eventually you're there to pull a beautiful girl home and, generate new dates if that's your goal. Most of you, if you're watching this, you want to generate dates. You want to be pulling girls home, having sex with amazing women. Well, that's what nightclubs are here for. Nightclubs are going to give you the highest concentration of women in a single environment. Because if you only prioritize day game or, worse, you just swipe all day on Tinder, it's not going to give you enough, it's not going to give you as much reach as a nightclub or a nighttime environments where girls are there to go out, to have fun, they're dressed, they're with their makeup on, they want to meet people, right? So, yeah, man, you gotta remove this belief that nightclubs are bad and toxic. Most times I go to nightclubs and I don't even drink. I tell the bartender, hey, could you give me some water, please? From the tap water. She gives me some tap water. Now, some nightclubs are going to tell you to buy the water. That's fine. It's nothing. I will buy it. Or I can take an orange juice, or I can take some ginger beer, or I can take, I don't know, a Red Bull. Doesn't matter. But you don't need to drink. Now, the second limiting belief is only the wrong women go to nightclubs and bars. Now, here's the mindset. High quality women also go out. They're just harder to spot. I agree. I mean, some girls are toxic. Some girls, they want to go to nightclubs because they want to, drink a lot and take drugs and do bad stuff, right? But you just got to screen more up front. You just got to discern the right women from the wrong women. You just got to weed out the losers and just be able to filter guys. That's it. Nighttime venues are still the most volume dense environment to meet women. They're literally there just for the sole purpose of having fun, of socializing, and potentially meeting a cool guy. That's what women are there for. So if you assume that all women at bars are low quality or all women at nightclubs are low quality, you're lazy. The key is filtering for the right person. Instead of prejudging from a distance and being lazy and staying at home, just go there, show up, and filter. One of my best friends here, he met his girlfriend and now fiance, they actually got engaged in a nightclub, like literally on the dance floor of a club I know in front of me. And his girlfriend, trust me, is top notch. And she was just there with her older sister for her sister's birthday, I remember. And she didn't even get a single drink. She was drinking water. She doesn't drink alcohol. So, yeah, don't prejudge. You can meet your future wife in a nightclub and maybe she's there because she's accompanying her sister or her older brother or celebrating her graduation or whatever. And it doesn't mean that she's a hoe. It doesn't mean that she has sex every weekend and she goes there every weekend. So don't prejudge, guys. This is the wrong mindset to go about it. Now, nightclubs are a trap to make you consume. I mean, it's true in some way, but you don't need to fall for that trap. You know, I go to nightclubs for the people, not for the products they sell. I don't go to nightclubs to spend thousands of dollars in bottle service and tables and all of that. You don't have to drink too much or at all. And as I said, I don't drink much most of the time. And you can win without drinking. And I drink water most of the time. Treat it like a social gym. It's really a social gym. Like every approach is like a rep. Every approach you can have fun with it. And once you approach many people, you get in the zone, you get into a flow, and you can really own the night while spending almost nothing. You know, yesterday I went out, I spent zero, literally zero, not even for the cover charge because I was on the guest list of my friend. So literally, I spent zero, and I went home with more contacts, with a beautiful woman, and with fun memories, right? And so a lot of times I go out with fucking zero. And I go home with someone beautiful or connections or memories. He's just amazing. Now, the other excuse is, I don't want to stay up late. I don't want to fuck up my routine. I wake up at 6 a.m. every day, blah, blah, blah. Listen, do you want to get girls or do you want to stick to your fucking geek routine? This is the question, because my mindset personally is that I take a few strategic late nights and I take them as an investment. Like I invest in a few strategic late nights. That's it. It's not a sacrifice. It's an investment. Same in business. Sometimes you're not going to have the perfect routine. Sometimes you're going to have some late nights. Sometimes you're going to miss out on sleep because you have to work on an important thing and you want to get that shit done. So you'd rather you miss out on a bit of sleep and rather just, move forward in that project. And it happens sometimes. That doesn't mean you need to do that every day. That doesn't mean you need to stay up late every day. But you can plan your week so that 1 or 2 late nights are part of your growth strategy. Networking, dates, high energy environments, maybe investing in your business more. And it can be worth it. It can be worth the late wake up the next day. So, yeah, man, I mean, sometimes just go out. And you don't need to go out every single week, to be honest. Like, I don't go out every single week. Some weeks I stay home. So I'd say you need to go out at least once or twice a month to keep the momentum going, but you don't need to do it every single week. Now, another thing that people tell me is, oh, nightclubs are too loud. We can't hear anyone. It's not even worth it. I can't speak to girls. Well, here's the mindset. Don't get bitter, get better. Just get better. If people can't hear you, that's your problem. It's not the venue's problem. Also, a lot of venues, they have smoking areas or they have outdoor places like a patio or something where you can speak with people and hear them more. So you don't need to stay fixed at the dance floor. You can move around. You can go next to the bar where you can hear people more clearly. You can go next to the smoking area and hear people, right? The environment forces you to use your charisma over your words as well. Like it's your body language that speaks more than your words. And you need to train that more then. Loud venues actually favor strong non-verbal communication. They favor body language. They favor proximity, touch, eye contact. It's really a pressure cooker for developing high-value presence skills and playful energy without relying on perfect verbal game. What's good in nightclubs is you don't need to have crazy verbal game. Literally, if you have some good body language and you know how to project your voice and you have good eye contact, you can crush it without being good at game. It's really about your presence, your energy, and then there's some tactical things you can do. So, yeah, you need to change your mindset around this. Now, here are some mindsets whenever you go out, okay? Number 1, it's a numbers game. The moment you said hi, you already won. You can't control if a girl is gonna like you or not. Number 2, fuck your feelings, okay? I fuck my feelings when I go out. I move my feet faster than my brain can think. Sometimes my brain tells me, oh, this girl, she's busy, she's with her friend, she's in a big group, maybe she's with a boyfriend, whatever, but I don't care. I fuck my feelings. If I like her, I go and I introduce myself. Now, any state I find myself in is just fine. I don't resist it. Whatever you resist, persists. So if you find yourself in a bad, frustrated state, don't resist it. Instead, take more action so you can get yourself out of that state. Okay, don't stay in your head. Now, the night is a marathon, not a sprint. So don't burn all your leads quickly. Don't be a mass shooter, be a sniper. In front of the girls you previously approached, they're gonna see that. They're gonna see that, oh, that guy is just approaching anyone, any girl. He's not selective. So you wanna also be selective. Don't mass approach everyone. Be selective in who you approach. But still approach many, but you gotta be strategic. And also guard your energy. That's what I mean by the night is a marathon, not a sprint. Guard your energy. Don't burn all your energy in the first few minutes or hours. Don't get drunk too soon. You know, a lot of guys, they get drunk in the first 2 hours of the night and then they just can't control themselves at the peak hours where it's most important to be in control. So for example, a guy is going to start drinking at 10 p.m. and is going to be drunk by midnight, and he's not going to be able to control himself too much. And then at 1 a.m. when it's critical to pool, he's not going to be in the proper state to pool because he drank too much. That's why I don't drink much. I want to be in control of my night. One mindset as well is women are lucky to have the chance of meeting you. Women spend all this time doing their hair, their makeup, to meet a high-value man like yourself. You're the prize. You know, that's why women dress well in nightclubs, or they put their makeup on, or they make themselves beautiful, is because they want to meet a guy potentially. And you're that guy. Now, women have one-night stands just as often as men. You got to read the book, Why Women Have Sex by David Buss. It's an extremely eye-opening book. You got to read that book because it's going to open your mind to female promiscuity, and it's going to give you a lot of confidence in having sex with women. And women want sex more than men, guys. Like, they just want you to be socially savvy about it. Read the books. There's a great book, Sperm Wars by Robert B. There's a great book, My Secret Garden by Nancy Fridays. And you're going to further understand like women's psychology, female psychology, and their true desire. Not their politically correct desires that they tell you, the true desires that they have. So stop thinking women are innocent. Actually, the more innocent a woman looks, the more crazy her sexual desires are. So don't be a fool. Don't fool yourself with appearances. Now, you need to have great logistics. You don't want to be the guy with perfect game and bad logistics. Be the guy with perfect logistics. Even if you have okay game, perfect logistics are going to save you. Many guys that have the most success with women don't necessarily have the best game. They just approach a lot of women, they have the best logistics, and they're persistent and they're consistent. So this is the ingredients of what makes truly, a successful guy with women. It's not necessarily the best game. Now, the secret to success with women is approaching a lot to generate as many opportunities as possible and having great logistics. If you have a lot of leads, even if you don't have super good game, by the sheer amount of volume, you will succeed. Okay? So understand that. Now, hygiene and energy. Before going out, try to take your biggest meal before, because you're probably going to be there for 4, 5, 6, 7, sometimes 8 hours. You're going to be out for 8 hours. And you need some fuel, so get some food, work out before if possible. The best thing to do is to work out before going out. Like, if you know you're gonna have a heavy night out, work out before. Because this is gonna give you so much energy. It's gonna raise your level of energy, I swear. I know it sounds counterintuitive, like, oh, if I work out, maybe I'm gonna be more tired. But it doesn't work that way. When you work out, actually, you raise your energy and you'll see like your vibe is going to be better. So I highly recommend working out before a night out. Now also bring gums with you. So many guys don't pay much attention to their hygiene, but you gotta brush your teeth, man. You gotta bring some gums, you know, you gotta smell good and smell nice, and you don't have bad breath because you're gonna talk to people. So always have gums on you. I always have two things on me when I go out. Condoms and gums. Always have a condoms in your wallet and have some gums. Now, there are two characters that you can have with women and in life. Character number one is facilitator of your own luck. And character number two is a leaf in the wind. And you always want to be the first one. You always want to be a facilitator of your own luck. This means always being ready for everything. Always having a tidy place to bring women to. Always having condoms, having gums, having enough money with you for expenses, having a bit of cash if you lose your wallet or if you lose whatever. I don't know, like having safety, you know, like a lot of guys, they don't bring cash with them, so they need to fucking go to the ATM and whatever. A lot of guys, they don't plan things. You know, don't forget your keys. Don't forget any essential items before going out. Like, make sure your house is clean before you leave. Be ready, okay? Be seduction ready. Be ready for everything. Be ready to pull. Now, the real truth about hot girls as well in clubs, I'm going to tell you. Most hot girls are broke. Most hot girls are renting a room somewhere, maybe even crashing on a blow-up mattress. Most hot girls don't have a fucking job. They're usually waitressing, bartending, doing some cleaning service or whatever. And most girls are paid for their looks. They don't have a ton of education, most of them. Often they have none. Maybe they dropped out of high school to have a little job. And most of them, they look confident because of their looks, but that's just because of surface level validation from thirsty dudes. But you're likely more educated than most girls. You're likely more successful than most of them. And you're more emotionally developed. You know, most guys are usually higher value than most girls. So don't pedestalize their dolled up look, right? You know, that club princess that you see, like that club girl that you see that looks amazing in heels and with makeup and all of that. Well, she's usually not that high value, you know, so don't get mesmerized. Don't pedestalize her. Be curious, but don't pedestalize. Never walk into an interaction assuming that her value is higher than yours. Because when you cut through the looks and through the hype, what you bring, like your mindset, your resources, your mission, your lifestyle, purpose, leadership, all of that often far outweighs what she offers. What is a girl going to offer you, man? Like sex, good emotions. I mean, if she's an entrepreneur herself, maybe, yeah, she's going to give you some advice or help you, but that's rare. So, you know, and a girl is not going to give you much. You're going to give her more, probably. You're going to pay for her. You're going to give her certainty, leadership, all of that. So your value is higher than yours. That's the mindset. You're the prize. And know that she probably, most probably, needs you more than you need her. So that's really the mindset. Remember, the quality of women you end up with is directly tied to the quality of women you're willing to walk away from. I repeat, the quality of women you end up with is directly tied to the quality of women you're willing to walk away from. This is an amazing mindset to have. You really need to understand this, okay? So if you're not willing to walk away from a woman, then you're not deserving of her. Very important. I just want to interrupt this video real quick. If you're looking to attract and date high quality women consistently, you want to get 1, 2, 3 dates a week consistently without wasting your time, then check out the link in the description. There's a video that shows you exactly how to get there. And there's even a calendar with some slots where you can pick a time and we can discuss together how you can crush it in the next few weeks. Now let's dive into the night structure and the game plan of the night. So while everyone goes about their night differently, there's an overall pattern to how people go out usually. And it pays to be aware of this because it's gonna really allow you to make the right decision depending on how the night unfolded, right? So this will change, by the way, based on the city, the night of the week, and the area in which you're going out in. There's usually three main parts of the night. Whenever you go out for a full night out, there's usually three main parts of the night, okay? And here they are. So number one, there's the first part of the night. So this is the beginning of the night. Number two, there's the second part of the night, the middle, and then there's the third part of the night, which is kind of the end of the night. So let's break them down. So for example, in Montreal, I was living in Montreal, Canada for 5 years. I studied there in McGill University. And in Montreal, clubs, they usually close at 2, 3 a.m. I noticed like in North America, like, you know, I was in LA a couple of weeks ago, clubs, they close pretty early. They close at 2 a.m. So the first part of the night is going to be sooner. It's going to be like from 10 p.m. to midnight. That's going to be like the first part of the night. Then the second part of the night is going to be from midnight to 2 a.m. And then the third part of the night is going to be from 2 a.m. onwards. Now, in a city like Paris, for example, the clubs are usually closing around 4, 5, 6 a.m. So because of that, the night shifts a bit. Like the first part of the night is from midnight to 2 a.m. Then the second part of the night is from 2 a.m. to 4. And then the third part of the night is from 4 a.m. till the end. So depending on when the night starts and when the night ends, like when the club opens and when the club closes, the parts of the night moves around. Like it depends on the timing. But there's always three parts. It just depends on when the club closes, right? Now, during the first part of the night, people are just there to transition from a more logical mindset, usually coming from school, from work, from their business, whatever, into an emotional and fun mindset. You see, when people arrive, usually they didn't drink much yet. They're not in a momentum of talking to people yet. They're generally just looking to let loose. They're generally a bit more stifled. So what you need to do is you need to work the venue, talk with different people, get into the zone, and let go of expectations, like build your own fun. Don't try to pull in the first part of the night. Focus on just taking action, gathering leads for later. You want to plant seeds. That's what the first part of the night is there for. The first part of the night is there for you to plant seeds, test the waters, build your own fun, and that's it. Don't try to isolate her. Don't try to pull her right away from her friends, because it's still early. So maybe get her Instagram, get her phone number, tell her you're going to see her later, and just simply make new friends. Just befriend her friends, etc. Make her meet your friends, push your own buttons, have fun, crack some jokes, role play, and that's it. That's the first part of the night. Things are just starting out. In the first part of the night, you want to focus on meeting a few beautiful girls, and you can talk with everyone just to build your own fun. Like you can even talk to the unattractive ones. The goal is to plant some seeds, to work the venue, right? That's what the first part of the night is there for. Talk to all the girls, even the unattractive ones. The difference is that you only fuck the hot ones. So you have to treat them all the same. Like treat the fat girls the same. Talk with them, joke with them, crack some jokes, and don't focus on the result as much. Focus on the process in the first part of the night. Everyone you talk to, every girl, even old ones, fat ones, all of that, it's an opportunity to sharpen the blade. View it as that. The first part is just focusing on building a massive reservoir of fun and abundance. And you gotta lower your time of reaction. I see so many guys, they just stand there waiting. They just hover around and zigzag and they just don't talk to the girl quickly enough. But when you see her, you want to go. Don't talk to your wingman and ask him whether it's a good idea or go to the bathroom before or whatever. If you see a girl you like, just go. Just say, hey, how's it going? I'm Limo. I loved your style. Whatever, that's it. Something simple. Okay, and then you calibrate after the fact. Don't try to calibrate before the fact. Don't try to mind read who she is and her personality before you even spoke to her. Calibrate after. Okay, very important. Now also, you want to micro venue hop within the night. So within one night, you want to hit multiple spots inside the same venue. Don't just stay stuck in the main bar. Like, go to the smoking area a bit. Go to the upstairs lounge if there's an upstairs lounge. Go to the dancing area. Like, when you go into multiple spots, multiple zones, you become a familiar face and you give yourself more chances for repeated exposure to the same girl or to multiple girls. So when you see a girl you spoke to before, you can say, oh, hey, you again. You're following me, stop following me. And when you bump into the same girl multiple times, it creates that mere exposure effect. You become more familiar, etc. And also it allows you to meet more women, because if you stay on the same spot, then you're stuck in the same spot, so it's not good. Now, during the second part of the night, that's when things are critical if you want to pull. So during the second part of the night, people have been letting loose. They're more free, they're more social at this point. They usually had a few drinks. They got into the zone more, they're more in a social state, they're more adventurous, more open-minded. So what you need to do at that stage is you want to use all the momentum, all the reservoir of fun and abundance that you've built in the first part of the night to keep taking action and to finally commit to an interaction and focus on moving things forward with that interaction. And you can reapproach girls that you met prior, or you can just approach one girl that you like, and if it's a new girl, stick with her if she's the right fit. And you want to screen for availability. You want to screen for the right logistics. Like, screen who is she here with? How do they know each other? Where is she living? What brings her here? Like, is she living here, or she's just a tourist, or whatever? And give her some space as well, like walk away sometimes. As I said in the commandments, the nighttime commandments, you want to attract and then release a little bit as well. So sometimes stay with your friends, stay with your wingman, give her some space with her own friends, right? And then at some point you want to seed the pool before the pool. We'll talk about that more. But one thing you got to be careful about when you go out during the second part of the night is that you really want to commit to an interaction, because if you think there's a shinier girl elsewhere, if you think the grass is greener elsewhere, and you constantly approach new girls without committing to a single girl at some point, you're going to lose. Because the thing is, in order for you to pull, in order for you to bring that girl home, you need enough time spent with her. You need enough trust. You need enough build-up. And you don't have time to build all these elements if you don't stay with her at least 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes, 1 hour, and even more. So that's why you need to stick with a girl and move things forward with that girl and spend enough time for her to justify coming home with you later, you know? And there's a famous saying that I really like. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. And that's absolutely true. Like, once you have a bird in the hand at some point and it's a good bird, don't try to find some others in the bush, okay? If you have a good girl that you get along with, that you're making out with, that is available, that is willing to have sex with you and is fun, don't just approach another girl just because she's hotter, because it's just better to stick with the one that you're certain to pull, you know? So a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, remember that. Now, during the third part of the night, people are going home, they're trying to find a way home. Usually people are hungry, they want food, they're a bit tired. They want to go to bed, or they want to keep partying, they want an after party, they want to have sex. So keep these objectives in mind. Now, here's what you want to do in the third part of the night. The third part of the night is when you're going to take the girl with you and you're going to bring her home. And you got to make something happen with that girl that you're committed yourself to. So that's when you can escalate things further, seed the pool, go for the pool, lead her to your place where sex can happen. Now, if you don't have any girl by that point that you can go home with, you're most likely fucked. If you want to pool, it's going to be harder, but you can still try to make something happen. Try to approach the girls that are still standing there. Try to reapproach women you already talked with, and try to make something happen. But you should try to commit to a girl by the second part of the night, because third part of the night the timing is a bit off. And listen, you can make it happen. It's not like you can't make it happen. Like many times at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., I meet a girl and straight away there's a nice connection and then I pull her home. But it's more rare, you know? So it's better to commit to a girl in the second part of the night so that you can ensure that you have a proper pull in the third part of the night, right? And you can after party either with the girl that you've committed yourself to or with both your group of friends and hers. So a lot of times you're going to be with your own wingman and she's going to be with her own group, and you can do an after party. You can merge groups together and do a common after party at someone's place or at your place, and it's going to be a group after party. Okay, so to sum up, in the first part of the night you want to focus on meeting as many beautiful girls as you can. You can talk with everyone, even unattractive ones, to build the fun. But the goal is to plant seeds and work the venue. And then you can commit to an interaction and then you can pull. Now, one thing is you want to prime yourself before you even enter the venue, because the night starts when you leave your house. The night doesn't start when you enter the venue and you're on the dance floor. The night starts when you're talking to people, for example, in the line. If there's a line and you have to wait, well, instead of waiting and looking around like a fucking moron, go talk to people in the line. Like if there's some girls behind you, talk to the girls behind you. If there's some girls in front of you, talk to the girls in front of you. Like try to talk to people on your way to the venue even. Like if you have to take the bus to go to the venue, or you have to take the train or whatever, talk to people on the train or the metro or the subway. I don't know. Like talk to people on the way, even like walking to that venue. If you see some girls, like talk to them, compliment them. Oh, hey guys, love your style, whatever. Or, hey, are you guys from blah, blah, blah? Like, just talk, you know, say hi to people, compliment them on your way. Bring that social state forward. Bring that social momentum forward, right? The earlier you start building that talkative social state, the better. That way, when you enter the venue, bam, you're already in the zone, you're already flowing, right? So prime yourself before you even enter. Don't be the guy who's standing there like a moron, just looking at his phone instead of talking to people before entering the venue. Okay, super important. And when you arrive at the venue, don't wait for women to make a move. You have to initiate. You're the man. Okay, women are not going to initiate. Women, technically, what they're going to do is they're going to drop some hints maybe. Maybe they're going to glance at you, they're going to smile at you, or they're going to position themselves closer to you. They're going to start dancing next to you. Those are hints. Like women are going to drop you hints all the time. But don't wait for those hints. Like initiate anyway. Now, here's what to do if you're getting some approach anxiety. Number one, realize that it's okay if you feel some initial resistance. Everybody has that. It's fine sometimes. But it's not okay to let that dictate your success. Like, do it anyway. Do it to build momentum. Okay? You can start talking to less attractive ones if you feel intimidated by the attractive ones. Like, talk to the fatties. Talk to the girls that you're not attracted to, and you'll see you're not going to be that anxious, because there's not going to be like an important outcome that you care about, right? So just allow yourself to loosen up. Try to focus on having fun, on enjoying the music as well. Like, you know, just dance, enjoy the music, sing, I don't know. Detach yourself from the outcome. Focus on having fun with your wingman, with other guys. Pump yourself out. Focus on the music. You know, don't be so in your head. Loosen up. And if you want to get a drink occasionally for that, then get that drink. That way you can maybe have a bit more confidence. It's fine to get a drink to have a bit more confidence, but you don't want to make that your personality. You don't want to use drinking to be able to alter your personality to become more confident. You want to be confident by default and have that core confidence, not that situational confidence. Now, by the way, I've cut some parts of this video. So if you want to get 1 to 3 dates a week consistently without wasting your time or sacrificing your work, then check out the link in the description. And once again, thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.